So you're in Lubbock, your company is flying you all around. Is it all around the country or have you gone international yet? I think you might have mentioned that they do things around in other countries as well, correct?
Yeah, I went to Juarez, Mexico for a week, and
Hmm.
they have a lot of these new like machines that they're working with is a lot of like robotics involved with them, and
Yeah.
they need like I'm still learning like their program, so I'm getting sent off with everybody that they can because they want me to work with like all the technicians. So
Yeah.
my actual region is California all the way to like the west half of Texas. And but since I'm like still learning, they're sending me with like everybody. Like I actually next month I'm going to Atlanta because they
Nice.
flew out. Yeah, they flew out a bunch of German people to that. Okay, so they have a language. I forgot what it's called, but it's a German language. Like not a language, but like a programming language. It's a
Yeah.
German one,
Oh, interesting.
and they want me to learn it. But the thing is I have to learn German to learn it. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow.
the guys that I'm working with today actually they're being sent to Germany. They're like back and forth from Germany, and they're from Indianapolis. So they're just being sent out to learn German to learn the new language because nobody here knows the language. I keep forgetting the name. I call my boss to figure out what it the name was. I forgot it. It's like Z Tech or something like that. Something interesting like that. But yeah, like right now I'm in Lubbock working on a something that I have never worked on before. It's actually just it's a die cutter, so it makes cardboard boxes and stuff.
Mhm.
It has like programs that you put into it to make certain patterns and stuff like that. And I'm literally just putting it together, but I have no idea like how it
Yeah.
works or anything. So this guy that he's like teaching me and stuff like that. But it's a mix at first when I first got hired. It's like a mix of it was purely like computer work. Like I connect my computer to the machine physically and I press buttons. I shoot program, I make sure everything's like um up to date. And then I also like teach people how to run the machines. So my
Hmm.
company is partnered with another company that makes like robotic arms for like everything.
Yeah.
That company they have like basically they sell the robotic arms, and then my company, if we want a robotic arm, we buy it from them, but we program what we want to do with it. Along with programming, and something that they just introduced me to is a lot of 3D printing. So I'm working with CAD Studio to like design pieces that will grab and like put paper down in the way that they want to do.
That's
And
incredible, man.
yeah,
That's incredible stuff right there. I mean, the stuff that you're learning, that is like even ahead of a lot of the people that are there's so many different areas of innovation, but the area of robotics, that is only going to continue, you know.
yeah,
It's
100%.
incredible. I mean, in your case, you're learning languages that people got to learn German just for them
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
so that's going to put you, so far ahead. So,
yeah.
man, I'm really interested in diving into your story. You were part of our previous cohort, no,
Yep,
two cohorts ago of Tech Founder Pro, was then
yep.
Nova Code Academy, but we evolved into Tech Founder Pro.
I saw that. I
And
saw that.
yeah, the reason why tell you a little bit behind that was because when artificial intelligence, as you remember, we really introduced AI right when AI was really coming out. Yours
Yeah.
was the first cohort where
Mhm.
AI had just been introduced, and I realized right away that we need to incorporate the use of this in our training program. And from there, fast forward to where we're at right now, it's incredible to see all of the advances, how fast technology is moving. And you were at that time, what were you doing before you got into Tech Founder Pro?
before I got into your program, I was
Hmm.
actually just I was working two jobs. I was working at a restaurant, and then I was doing events at the city that I was in.
Hmm.
And I was working like, man, it was like all day shifts, early in the morning all the way to like super late at night. I'd have like maybe 3 hours in between jobs, and then I'd get back home at like 10.
Yeah.
I remember a couple times I was in the class and I was like, dude, I'm like so out of it, you know, but like I
Yeah.
made time for the class and it definitely like 100% worked out. And like you said, like you introduced AI at the perfect time
Hmm.
because on my hiring, like when I was hired, they flew me out to Atlanta for the second interview, and they told me they're like, hey, like what really stuck out is that you were really tech savvy. A lot of the people that they used to hire didn't have any like programming experience, and they totally said that like that set a lot of people back. And the
Yeah.
fact that I have knowledge on AI, some programming, like how to work Visual Code Studio and like the Android Studio, all that kind of stuff, like, all those skills, they saw that in my resume, and they brought me in for the interview and asked me about it. And that's when I told him I was into Nova Studio, and
Yeah.
and they told me they're like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want, and that's exactly what like we saw in your resume. And I
Yeah.
remember like I think it was like the day after we, or like the week after we like graduated the classes, you
Yeah.
helped me like put like all the keywords in my resume, and like it like I don't want to give away too much of it because I know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they
For sure. We don't want to give away the sauce to everybody.
yeah, the sauce, but yeah, but literally the instant, like I put that online because I started to like really get into like applying everywhere, and like
Yeah.
that. And I've heard so many stories of people like, oh, I'm like 1,000 applications deep, and I've only had like one or two calls. I've
Yeah.
only applied, I want to say about like 50 times. They hit me up and told me
Yeah.
exactly what I told you, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, we're flying you
They
out to
appreciate
Atlanta.
it. Yeah, that's incredible. And yeah, we have had some of our people that just graduated last no, no, this month. They just graduated this month. They've already gone on multiple interviews just based off of the experience that they got. But of course, helping them with their resumes and LinkedIn. I think everybody that's graduated from this cohort that just graduated in June. So that is a very, that is a
That's
very
amazing.
big part of the preparation. And in your case, in that cohort, it was so awesome. I was really, really proud of you and everybody in the program. We had one of the trainees even get a full-time job before the graduation.
That's
And
great. That's great.
and then remember, it was Joy.
Joy,
She got a
yeah.
job before the graduation. And then yourself, that was what, like 2 weeks after the graduation that you got
It,
your job, or one
it
week
was
maybe?
it was literally like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I remember I like spent a whole day one week, like literally 24 hours. I had a day off and I was applying everywhere. I'm telling you, I think like I shot out like 50 applications, but they were like full applications, not just
Yeah.
emailing resumes,
Yeah.
like that takes forever. So I did that,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, I got to make it work. I got to make it work. And then like when I used the new resume, like they hit me back up like way quicker, and like
Yeah.
it was super nice and super like fulfilling to be like, damn, like I graduated and I got a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I love to hear. So I got a couple of other questions in terms of like just the experience of the training program. What one of them that I want to ask is like, we already know what the result has been in terms of you getting a new full-time job. Can you just once again kind of talk about you're working in robotics now,
Yeah.
right? And that's just kind of incredible. So can you just once again just touch on what your role is now?
Well, my role, what they call me is a technician slash mechatronic. So they want me to learn not only like the programming side of robotics, but the mechanical side of robotics. I not I work on shooting software, making sure everything's up to date, troubleshooting the arms, and then also replacing parts. And when I look at these parts to be replaced, since it's a very new thing to our company, we have to work on designing the parts
Yeah.
in a programming software called CAD Studio. I just got into it. I think it's CAD or CAD Studio, and it's like you make dimensions, 3D models, all that kind of stuff. And I haven't done it myself yet, but I'm learning how to do it. So I know how. And then now another thing that just happened is we switched over apps for like our timesheets and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we designed it ourselves. So we
Oh,
used
nice.
Android Studio. I personally, I didn't have too much of a hand into it because they leave it to the
Mm-hmm.
seniors,
Yeah.
but they were there. We were all there in Atlanta when we were like designing it and making it very like streamlined for everybody.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's an in-house app called M Service, and that's what we use for our timesheets. So since our company is like super tech savvy, they do that kind of stuff themselves. So
Yeah.
I have my hand. I don't really have my hand in it yet, but I'm learning everything
Yeah.
that's going on, and I honestly, I'm like one of those guys that are kind of a go-getter. So I have like these dispatchers. So they're telling me like, oh, you're gonna have to go to like right now, Lubbock, Texas. I'm like, okay, or you're gonna have to go here to like work with so and so. But I am going to these customers, getting to know them, and they're liking me. So I'm telling my dispatchers, I was like, yo, just send me there and I'll install the parts or shoot the programming myself. I
Mm-hmm.
have done that about, I want to say like 6 times throughout
Yeah.
my and I've been here for about 10 months, almost a year. I'm going up there.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah,
say, like, that's incredible. Like, just to hear the level of confidence that you have in your abilities is just it's incredible to me. I love hearing that.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like that's what we're doing right now. It's mostly like connecting to these machines that are in loud warehouses. So I'm always in like headphones and just like chilling, uh, typing out everything, listening to my
Mhm.
mentors, telling me like how things work. And something I wanted to say about the program that taught me, your program that taught me and transferred extremely well. And I think this is one of the things that puts me above others is the
Mhm.
attention to detail. I feel like you taught us what it was to be a programmer, and that is to be attentive to every little thing because everything has to be perfect. And when
Yeah.
it comes to $1 million machines, like in the millions, like well over 1 million, they need that. They
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
need that because if I'm coming in as a new guy and somebody who looks young with this senior tech that comes in that knows the customer, been there for years, they if anything goes wrong, they will always blame me. But the thing is I have been so attentive that I've actually caught things that the senior technicians have not. So
Yeah.
that attention to detail that I learned in Founder Tech Pro is one of the biggest things that I carried over to my jobs right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great because that was a really good segue into just talking about like what you thought about like the structure and the content of the program.
It was very fulfilling. I feel like the structure definitely had us going from like baby steps to like
Yeah.
big steps, but it was never overwhelming. It was
Yeah.
always really like well taught out, well spoken, and really like fulfilling and stimulating to learn. Having everybody like participate too was also really fun, really well. Showing everybody personal projects that we all did and everybody like try like me and Justin, I could tell we were kind of like like trying to make a better website, trying to make a better website. Like
Yeah.
he went
Yeah, he
off on
did.
his website. Yeah, like
He
he was
did.
great.
I
And
was
like
super impressed by that.
yeah, and like he like I totally was like, dang, like that's cool. I like seeing everybody like participate with each other and like work on everything personally and bring it to class. It was very interactive and very well structured and super fulfilling.
Yeah, thank you about that. Now, we really, of course, when AI came about, we really wanted to introduce that right away, and even more so, get people prepared and utilizing it. So I want to kind of, and also in shouting out to you, I remember recalling me saying, I feel like you're going to be able to get a position, an advanced position in a,
Yes.
an AI type of company based off your
Yep.
creativity and your analytical thinking that did end up happening for you. So that's really,
Yep.
really cool.
Yep.
So I just wanted you to touch on, in terms of the program, how the program wove in AI aside from just software engineering and how that has led to you having success in your career.
Well, yes, you not only like introduced it to us in a very like understanding and like fluid manner, but you taught us more about it than than anybody would if they're just kind of like going on it by themselves or even googling it and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You
absolutely.
taught us kind of like how it works, what we have to do to prompt it, and how we act with it. And I feel
Hmm.
like all of that has to do with AI, because AI is way more than just a program. It's like
Yeah.
something that you have to kind of curate to what you want.
Yeah.
And that's what you taught us when it came to
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
putting it into your program, which was very fluidly, I would like to express, like super fluidly and super fun. Also really fun. Working with
Yeah.
AI was probably one of my favorites in the program.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for the current cohorts, we've actually even kind of like upped it a little bit more where they have what one of our current the one of the previous cohort members, he created a AI trading bot. So
Oh, that's dope.
it does like day trading with AI, and he added not just that the trading bot does things automatically, but he also added a AI chat bot, literally powered by OpenAI,
Oh, wow.
onto the app as well. And he was able to accomplish all of that within, our within the program is
That's
literally
great.
incredible. So yeah, we really, focused in on preparing people for this, for what's going on right now, being
Mhm.
on the cutting edge of right now. You're in robotics. The two of the people, there are more, but two of the people that were talking about, the results of coming through the program, they've all been interviewed for multiple different AI related positions because of the preparation that they have. So that's very rewarding.
That's great. That's amazing, dude. That's super good. And that's the result that comes from this Tech Founder Pro. Like I see like and like you said, you've been kind of like upping it with AI. And it's like
Hmm.
AI is only getting like more advanced. That means like the classes have to go with it.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
said something along the lines that like AI is going to be taking jobs or whatever, but what you said is like that's necessarily not true. It's the people that don't use AI that are their jobs are going to be taken.
Yeah,
And
big time.
it's definitely like one of those things where you have to evolve with it to like
Yeah.
really get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently my cat wanted to say hi
I
while
saw.
remember she likes doing that whenever we're
Yeah.
on a call. Sometimes she'll want to say hi. All right, EOS, we're saying hi to. All right. So I guess to kind of wrap up, man, I wanted to ask, would you recommend Tech Founder Pro to others?
Oh yeah.
What advice would you give to someone considering enrolling in Tech Founder Pro?
I've already recommended it to a bunch of people. I've told
Hmm.
them because they've asked me like, "Oh, how did you do this? How did you do this?" I've already said that like, "Oh, it was with Tech Founder Pro," and I've told them all about you and how like the class really like streamlined everything and made it really easy and fun to learn. And
Hmm.
I hope some of them went with you. That I didn't know like many of them personally, but they've asked and
Hmm.
I've recommended your name.
Yeah.
Um, what was the other question? Sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, you were saying that you would recommend it and what
Yeah.
advice you would give to someone,
Oh,
considering it. Yeah.
advice. I feel like in my case, I had two jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
And I always felt like and I did miss a class or two, but you always caught me up. My
Yeah.
advice is to like make time because it's worth it.
Yeah.
100% make time for it because it's worth it. You have you can make it. Like you can do it. Figure it out, make time for it or make up time. You know what I mean? Like just get all the knowledge, and it will pay you back 100%.
Yeah. Well, if you know, this is perfect example. Joshua went from if your story was to be a, you know, a book or a movie, it would be from working at a restaurant to robotics, you know,
Yeah,
in
restaurant to
six
robotics.
in 16 weeks. And your story is incredible, man. Super proud of you. You're over there in Lubbock. You're getting flown
Yeah,
around the world, having a whole new, you know, future because you invested in yourself. And you know,
yeah,
that's what I'm proud to, you know, be able to share the opportunity for other people. And on top of that, man, I know that you're still creative. You're going to be able to have the platform to be able to, you know, be able to make some more of whether it be music or art, you know, because we're all multi-dimensional people.
yep,
So it's incredible that now you're being put in a situation where you don't have to work two jobs. You can, you know, perform very well at your job and something that you're really interested and passionate about, and then also have more time to be able to work on other things that you're passionate about as well. So that's what I love too.
yeah, man. And I appreciate your program. It really brought me here, man. Like I feel like this is like really great. It really works out for me, and I really appreciate what you're doing for us. Like your
Mhm.
program is great. It's fun. You make time, and you like if people like miss, like I said, you catch people up and have them learn, and it worked out for me, and it will definitely work out for everybody else that is going into your program.
All right. Cheers, Joshua. Well, have a
Yeah.
great rest of the day, man, and keep on doing great work. All right.